Hey, y'all. Welcome to Kingz and Conversations. I am Enrique.
Hey, I'm Mike.
And my name is Mocha.
And this is the show with three kings where we sit and we just have conversations about everyday life-to-life things. You may agree, you may not agree. Hey, just be respectful.
That's all we ask.
Oh.
And we're so excited to have you join us today. I think it's always a great opportunity to come together with you two guys. We always have a good time. Yes, definitely got to pour some. Yeah. But we appreciate you all taking time to watch our video today, and we hope that you enjoy our conversation. So we live here in Atlanta, and first it was Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. And now it's here. Yeah. We just got finished going through the death and the burial, the rioting, all about George Floyd. And now that tragedy has showed up at our own front door in the death of Rayshard Brooks, which actually did not happen too far from where we're currently filming. How did you all feel when you first heard about what was going on last Friday?
I received a video.
Right.
When I received a video and I'm looking at it and I'm just looking at everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, okay, what actually happened? Right. So when someone hit me up and it was like, okay, well, this is what happened. And then I'm looking and they're like, you know, he was asleep, yada, yada, yada. He was intoxicated and he gets to tussling. Right. And then you have people saying that it was justified and you have people saying that it wasn't. Right. I feel like it wasn't. And because here's the thing, dude's intoxicated. How many times have we been driving and noticed that we are too intoxicated to drive? Okay. We pull over somewhere, pull ourselves together so that we can go ahead and make it home safely. Wow. I feel in my mind that's probably what he was doing. He probably, had just left the turn up, right? Realized he was too full. You know what I'm saying? Probably went by Wendy's to grab something to eat.
But he was actually in line. He was in line. Yeah, in the drive-through line. Right.
Oh, that's what happened.
Right. So he wasn't
how the stories get mixed. I thought
it's several stories.
Yeah, there's the story I got. He was in the parking lot asleep, and the people from Wendy's tried to wake him up. And when he wouldn't wake up, that's what made them call him.
No, all of that is true, except for the fact that he was actually in line.
Because they have a story saying that he was not even in a car. Like
right.
So anyway, so the tussling, the fighting. Okay, you have to realize something. When you're drunk, your emotions are already heightened. Right. What happened with George Floyd had just happened the week before. Right. Mm-hmm. He had just watched these white men kill this black man. Exactly. On national television. Exactly. And so now he's intoxicated. Mm-hmm. These white officers, and he probably was fighting for his life. He probably thought they were going to kill him.
Definitely.
He was fighting for his life now.
Definitely.
But yeah. So I can see why. Now, I'm not saying that he was right. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that he was right,
but did he deserve to die?
That part, because no one, not for doing something, not just for doing something wrong, right. Not when it could have shot him in the leg or something just to get him down.
Wow, we actually talked about that last night.
Yeah, if you're gonna shoot him in the leg. If you just got to shoot him,
right? So how did you feel?
So, when I received the video, because my business partner, every time she comes across something, she sends me video. Right. And when I saw it, I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know that it had happened in Atlanta. My best friend, he lives around the corner. He's a big advocate for Black Lives Matter. So when he went live, wow. Oh, okay. Wow. So that's when I started, trying to pay attention to get more detail. Right. So I'm on the same boat as Mocha. Mm-hmm. I do believe that life is cause and effect. Right. And because you do certain things, the effect is something else. Right. I don't believe that he deserved to die. Right. I really wish that the cop would have thought thoroughly, we already in this situation. We're going through this. Let me shoot him in the leg. Let me shoot him in the ankle. Shoot him in the shoulder. I don't know. But then I also have to play devil's advocate to say maybe the cop wasn't a good shooter. Mm-hmm. And maybe he was aiming for something to immobilize him. And it just, so you kind of never know the situation. But it was heartbreaking to know that I've had times where I've had to pull over because I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to continue to drive because I've been drinking a little too much, right? And I want to calm down a little bit, right? And you do stop at public places, right? Because you want the surroundings. Because if you pull out to just any place, somebody could attack you. So I applauded him for
making the effort.
Yes, for making that effort. I really wish that he would have parked the car.
Right.
If that wasn't, if he was actually in line,
right,
that he would have parked the car and maybe even gone to the window and said, "Hey, I'm a little intoxicated. Again, I think that we as Black people, especially now, we got to be very strategic in everything we do, and every little move. If I'm about to get out of my car and a car is coming, I want to even sit in my car and wait because there might be a white person passing by. I mean, it's dumb.
Right, we're all on heightened anxiety with that.
It's really sad, not dumb. It's sad that we have to govern ourselves accordingly. And you're going to have some people who are going to watch this who are going to say, well, why do we have to walk around on eggshells? Well, you have to just, again, be strategic in your steps. We're taking steps.
Right.
There's levels to it. So you can't just jump in and think that just because we started the Black Lives Matter movement, we're going to move right to the top.
Right. No, it's going to take a lot.
So it's those steps. And so people, please be strategic in your movements and your thought process and everything you're doing to not elevate the situation or escalate it to anything worse than what it is, because it looks like it's getting worse.
It does look like that. And I'm going to say this. When I got it by video too. And again, we're living in a time now where everybody is catching cops doing everything on camera. So as you all probably get multiple videos. So it's either it's a Karen video or, something.
Right.
So when I got it and I saw it, the only thing that kept coming out of my mouth when I saw it from the beginning was no. No. That's how I kept until I saw them actually kill him. To me, the cop is 100% responsible. Now, I'm not going to say that Rayshard was not wrong for drinking and driving. I'm not saying that he was not wrong for falling asleep in the line and holding up. We all know this is that Wendy's, everybody is over there. People are getting out. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, people are going to be upset because you're not moving. Come on now, you're in a Black neighborhood. But these cops knew exactly where they were working that night. You already know you're working in the university area, that Pittsburgh area, that is a predominantly Black area. You already know the climate of our country. And yet, when all you had to do was go to the man, wake him up, and if you wanted to tell him, hey, pull over to the side, do something. There was so much kindness and grace that could have been shown in that moment so that escalation would not happen. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, the reason why I hold the cops more accountable is because when you are a leader, and I've been a pastor, as you all know, I've been in a leadership position, you are expected to go above and beyond what everybody else does. So that goes along with you being a leader, period. So that also means that you got to have wisdom in situations. That also means that you got to do things with the right type of mentality to make sure that you get the best result. Not end it in a murder. Because at the end of the day, although he did point the gun at them, that situation could have been stopped from the jump. And the police officer did not do exactly what he needed to do to make it better. We are already living in a whole climate. You're in a Black neighborhood. There are 2 white cops because this thing is no longer about right and wrong. It's about power and the abuse of power. And if you don't talk to me a certain way, then I'm going to do this. If you don't do things a certain way. And so you all are right. We are in a place where we're afraid. We are in a place where we're nervous. Every time I see a cop car, whether they're a white officer or a Black officer, I'm like,
Right, because, I mean, there would be times when I wouldn't go to an event unless I knew that police were going to be there because I didn't want to worry about popping off and things getting out of hand. Now I don't want to go if they are
exactly,
or if they come out late.
You know what? It's almost like the gang members have more mercy, grace, and kindness than the cops in some situations. And I don't even want to get into 46-1 and his support, public support for cops. Now, do I think good cops should be celebrated? Yes. Absolutely. But I also think that we have to recognize that there is a reform that is needed in law enforcement, or we're going to continue to see these people die. So we would love to see your thoughts, hear your thoughts and your opinions about it.
I really want to know, and it's probably something that we need to research. When was the last time the manuals were updated?
Right.
When was the last time? Yeah, because that may be part of the problem. I did read where someone did say with him grabbing the taser, that wasn't a threat, and then someone that actually works for the police department put an excerpt from the manual in that says a cop can draw their gun if they feel threatened, if it's a device or a concealed weapon.
I agree. So I agree with that.
I agree with all of that. But the problem is police officers are shooting to kill.
Right.
They're shooting to kill.
And you made a point. You said, well, maybe he wasn't a good shot. Maybe he didn't.
That.
Oh, you said that. Yeah. Well, then, my nigga, you don't need to be working.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, again, we could have de-escalated this from the jump. Based on current country climate, what we're dealing with. You're in a black neighborhood with 2 white cops. First of all, Joker, we don't even trust you anyway. So when I see you trying to arrest me, I don't know if I'm going to make it to the police department. I don't know if you're going to kill me in the back of your car. I don't know if you're part of the KKK. I don't know if you dating a black woman, white woman, if you got a conspiracy with 46 minus 1. I don't know. So I can't even fault him for fighting back because people do things out of fear. Does it make it right? No. But the person in leadership is the one that should be held accountable. And a shout out to the police chief who did the right thing and stepped down from her position because of this tragedy. So again, we want to hear what you all think about it. Make sure you comment below. There was a topic that you brought up about white advocacy.
Well, here's the thing. I don't feel that, how can I say this without offending anyone? White people tend to always feel like we feel like we're complimented, like they're doing us a favor when they take on our culture, when they take on our trends. And my thing is this: I have no issue with you wearing things that come from the African American culture, but if you're not wearing them every day, if this is not something that's a part of your culture every day, then I have to question just how sincere is it.
Are we speaking of Nancy Pelosi?
Well, I'm just saying, a whole Kente scarf?
You thought it was a bit too much?
Well, it was.
I think the Kente scarf is too much. I think getting in blackface and getting on Twitter is too much.
Oh, I think blackface is too much.
You're talking about this in solidarity, baby. I'm not impressed by any of that.
It becomes too much because, as I said, it's like wearing the paraphernalia of a Greek fraternity. And you being a white American and wearing kente cloth, and it's not something you're adorning all the time. So at this point, it becomes a photo op. It becomes a let them see that I'm with them, and you can be with me through your actions versus your attire. You don't have to do it in your attire. Nancy Pelosi has a position.
She does.
That she can actually make a difference more so than wearing the garments. And I'm and most intellectual black individuals are action people. I don't care what you got on.
Okay.
As long as you're acting on my behalf and you're doing something right, then I'm
good. Laws,
that's what I need.
Use your privilege to get some of these laws passed. Baby. I don't care nothing about those dashikis and all of that. I mean, I'm not impressed by it.
You can wear a dashiki and still be signing off on the wrong stuff.
That part.
That's very true.
That part.
That's very true. So, I think the topic that you brought up in our meeting was white advocacy for Black Lives Matter. Do you think that's yours? Oh, do you think it's hindering or do you think it's helping? Let me say this. I feel like if Black Lives Matter is ever going to be a total success in the sense of seeing major change, right? Because we're going to always be working on this for a long time. I think we need white people.
Well, we do.
Absolutely. We need that in our lives.
And even though, and let me say this, there are some amazing white people out there.
I know just like there are some
horrible
black people.
Exactly. I know some white people like who are sincerely amazing, right? And they don't know what to do right now.
Right.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like LL Cool J made a comment. He said, I wonder what the conversation is in interracial homes. Because now you have a black spouse and a white spouse, whether it's 2 women, 2 men, one man or woman, whatever. You now have to have conversations that you're forced to have because this is the world that we're living in. And so there are some white people who don't know that wearing a kente cloth may be offensive to us because you don't do it all the time. Or maybe this is their way to show like, yo, I messed up. I think there was a video going around with a lot of white people in entertainment. And they were apologizing to the Black community for what other people have done. When you saw that, how did that make you feel?
Honestly, it's kind of I don't know. I don't really have a name for the feeling. I was glad that they took ownership.
Okay, that was good.
But the thing is, I hate the fact that I have to apologize for my race for doing something that I'm not doing.
A part of, right.
And but I mean, I guess when we're looking at the bigger picture, you know, I'm always bigger picture.
Yes.
When people see a white actor or singer or whatever, they see white. Like I just said, when they say white, the first word out of their mouth is, you know, the white girl.
Right, exactly.
So, being as though that we pretty much are in a race war. Yeah. I kind of have to separate the fact to say, yes, I'm white, but. So I appreciated the fact that they did that. And there are a lot of Caucasian, Anglo-Saxon individuals who do side with us, and I appreciate it. I applaud it.
We need it.
We do need it. It's just like being on Survivor. Exactly. You have to form allies. You need that strong support team. Exactly. The only thing I want y'all to do, and you know I'm going to go there, is to stop burning shit down. Stop putting graffiti on shit. Stop throwing bricks and stuff through windows. And make it seem as if we're doing it.
Because let me tell you something, these white folks been turning up for us. Now I will say that. They have been turning up.
But if you want to do it, if you go with your black friend and your black friend throw a rock, then you throw the rock.
Exactly.
If your black friend start the fire, then you put the gasoline
on. Or if they get in a fight, you jump in.
I really want white America to stop initiating because by being Black Lives Matter, the consensus is that the black people are doing it.
We're doing it.
Right.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh, that's really good. What are you about to say, Mocha?
I wasn't about to say anything. I didn't even see that video, but
I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or baby.
I didn't even see the video, but I agree with what Enrique said.
Yeah, definitely.
Just glad that people are taking accountability.
Definitely. And I think, again, we have to understand that it is our responsibility to accept those who do come in the name of love.
Yeah.
And let time show what they're really about. Because let me tell you something. Like you said, everybody is about a lot of talk, but it's the action that shows what they really meant. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, I love people with good intentions because I'm one of those individuals, but I also love to see the action of it as well. To see that you really are doing what is necessary in order to be able to make the changes that need to be made.
True colors will come out. Oh, yeah. Now, I want to hit on this really quick.
Go ahead.
Because you said white allies, and I think I told you this on the way over. There's a story that someone posted because what they're now doing with a lot of the black people who've been killed, they're trying to get all the cases reopened.
Oh, good.
So there is a black woman who was 40, and I don't know if you guys heard about this. She went to an adult slumber party. Okay. With, I think, like 7 of her white friends.
Oh, okay, cool.
4:30 in the morning, there was a home invasion with 3 white guys. The black lady was found dead on the lawn around 9:15 that morning, and none of the white women were dead or touched, and that none of them knew what happened. So that's what.
Wait a minute.
When you
Go
just
back.
said what you said,
There's a picture floating around.
Yeah, you got to know who is for you because I don't care what nobody says, and I don't care which one of them looking. Y'all set her up.
Totally.
And your white brothers, uncles, whoever wanted some black pussy.
Exactly.
And I said what I said.
Exactly.
And y'all set her up, and I think that was wrong.
Exactly.
For them to be on the picture all like this.
Yeah, they were all laid out.
Knowing what they had planned for her. And I really want the police to reopen that case because she was the only black woman.
What city was this?
I have to go.
We have to look that up.
But I promise you, when I read that, I was like infuriated because this black woman is sitting here, and again, you know, she's probably one of those Candace on the site,
right?
People, and she was sitting around white women that she thought she could trust.
Wow!
And they were the whole time
party. They were setting her up. A slumber party, and they did a little photo.
And nothing happened to any of the white women. None of them were touched. No. Yeah, they were in cahoots.
Absolutely.
And that's just real. Well, listen, over the past couple of shows that we've been filming, it's been very heavy. We've been talking about the whole Black Lives Matter. We've been talking about people who died. We've been talking about all of these things. So I am so grateful that in our meeting, another topic came up because I am tired of talking up. Like, listen, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm tired, right? I'm sick of this empty. I'm tired. So one of the other topics that came up, and maybe I think this was Mocha's. That nasty stuff. This is not nasty. Man. Listen, so one of the other topics that came up was, why is it hard, and this is a completely different topic, but why is it hard to date in the Black heterosexual and homosexual culture? So what did you mean by that?
Okay.
I'm gonna help you out on this.
You know what I think? Okay, and this is just judging from personal experience. Okay, from being around my heterosexual friends as well as the way that I've been in past.
Are most of these heterosexuals females or males?
Both.
Okay, cool.
Yes. What I've noticed is that, and it's a lot of different reasons.
Okay.
But one main reason I think is that when we're hurt in relationships and we have bad, experiences or what have you, we are so quick to want to jump into another one to try to
without healing,
bury what happened. When you in order to get over one man, you got to get under
another one. Well, I still believe in that, but I'll talk about that in a
minute. and what happens is you're not giving yourself a chance to heal. You're not giving yourself a chance to actually learn.
I agree.
From what happened. You're not sitting yourself down and saying, okay, what part did I play in this? What role did they play?
Right.
And it's like having a sore, on your hand. If you're not going to let it heal.
Right.
And you're not going to give it the antiseptic that it needs, if you're not going to give it the alcohol that
and
it
the time,
and the time, and the air,
yes, you got to have air.
You got to have air.
Let me breathe.
What's going to happen is if you keep hitting at that sore, there's an infection.
Exactly,
and you're taking it.
That's
right
good,
on to the next.
That is really good. Yeah, that was good.
You out here giving folks.
I love that. How do you feel? How do you feel about this?
Well. I've had this conversation several times with many people. The one thing that Blacks lack is the mind frame that white people have. Let me help you out. When white people get together, they call themselves partners. When Black people get together, they call themselves lovers.
Come through.
Which is sexually motivated.
Exactly.
So when that sex is no longer good,
come through.
I want to jump up from this couch.
So white people know it's a partnership.
Exactly.
Whatever comes,
it's a business.
We got to build equity. We got to get property. We got to do all of this. And whatever it is, they weather that storm.
Right.
Once the sex is no longer good,
or
we find somebody with better sex, we're ready to go.
Do one thing to piss me off.
So I think that in the I can't get on something. Right. Blacks in no, it's not this. It's not this. I'm trying to find the right word. Trust me, this is not this. But in our African American culture, heterosexual or homosexual, I think that's what a lot of our problems is. We run. We tend to run. We won't stick it out. Now you may say
we don't believe in partnership, though.
But they may say, well, white women go through their husband being pedophiles. They go through this. It doesn't matter.
Right.
They stick together. They
sure
grow.
Do.
And when it does come to an end, they both have something that they can equally share.
And they can walk away from whole. Well, broken, but still they're whole.
Right.
You know what I think? I think one of the reasons why it's hard to date in the Black culture is because many of us are just not healed or ready to date.
And a lot of y'all ain't real.
Exactly. And a lot of things, that was my point I was about to make. Because we're not honest about who we are, what it is that we want, what we've gone through, where we currently are. People will lie about where they work and what kind of car they drive. They will lie. They will make up a whole life on social media. And when you're not healthy enough to even date in the beginning, then you're already setting yourself up for failure, whether that's in the heterosexual community or the homosexual community. And I think that we need to be honest. If it's sex that we're looking for, then say it.
Because that other person that you're going after may just want
exactly.
And y'all both have sat here for 9 months and lied to each other.
Exactly.
Instead of just saying, I want this.
And now after 9 months, you got things together. You are emotional. Even if you don't love that person, you're still emotionally attached to them. So now you don't want to hurt them. And now you can't really be yourself. And you got to walk around eggshells. And then you know what I found for myself? And this is what I can only talk about me. Many times I fell in love with people I did not like.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even.
And a lot of times people fall in love and don't like themselves.
Exactly. And that was part of the reason. I didn't like me. So I was always looking for other people to endorse or build me up. And when that didn't work for a long time, then I realized now I'm in love with a person I don't even like. I don't like your ways. I don't like how you are. I don't like
other people.
Let me tell you, I told y'all, my therapist told me one time, she said, Mike, she said, have you thought about maybe, you don't need to keep chasing those real fiery guys? And I knew what she was talking about because she was talking about because I can't do a whole lot of this. Right. Like that triggers me. No, when I say trigger, y'all already know I've been very transparent. Yeah. That triggers me. You start yelling, screaming, talking crazy at me, I'm going to ask you, please stop. If you keep doing it, I'm going to ask you again, please stop. And either one, I'm going to either react or I need to leave. And that's just the honest to God truth. Right. I've been guilty of I'm honest. But I learned that those type of individuals don't work for me. But can I tell you what else I learned? That same behavior is connected to the abuse I went through with my stepfather. So I start romanticizing the abuse from my stepfather. So when I say romanticize, it became normal. Yeah. So I start looking for those same traits in others. I need to find someone who I got to walk around eggshells on. I need to find someone that when they get mad, they blow up because that way at least I know they care about me. They love me. I romanticize the shit. And then when I couldn't take it no more because the real me can start coming out, then all of a sudden I'm a liar. I'm a monster. I'm this. I'm that. And you get what I'm saying? But it was also because I didn't do the work on me first. So I think that's one of the reasons why. What else y'all want to say about that?
Whenever I started dating people, well, it's two parts to this. I'm going to go. I would always tell a person, same thing, know what you want, say what you want, be honest, open, and real. Right. So I remember dating this one person, and when I mentioned to him, this is a Band-Aid relationship. He was like, oh my God, Enrique, don't call it. I was like, that's what it is. I'm just in your life until you find something better when you heal from what you're hurting from. And I was good with that because I always felt that my life had that
sex purpose. Must have been good.
No, we never had sex.
Oh, y'all did? Oh, okay.
Never had sex. I'm just, no, I'm not lying. I am not lying.
Y'all got production laughing. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not lying. I was always the person that was mentally connected to people, and I just felt that everybody needed somebody. So I was the person that you need gas in your car, I'm coming to get your car. You need to eat up. So that's kind of where the whole Papa Smurf, all that stuff comes from. But I was always the Band-Aid relationship for people. Like I never felt that I would even get to where I am right now because I was always that healer. So
it is always hard for healers to have a relationship.
Yeah. So when my husband and I met, I made myself a promise that when I went on our first date, I was going to be very transparent. So I have my phone in my hand. I'm on social media a lot. Everybody calls me. If you can't deal with this, I'm telling you right now, I'm not the person for you.
Right. I agree. Go ahead.
Be willing to learn more. Yeah. Because a lot of times people think that during the dating stage of the getting to know that it ends there, but it continues to go even when you're in a relationship. Yeah. You know, and be open to that. Right. Be willing. And people say, you got to communicate, but they don't. Right. Right. You know, they don't say how they're feeling. They don't say how this affects me. They don't say, I hate it when you don't put the cap on the toothpaste.
And everybody communicates different. So you got to learn their communication.
Be willing to be open-minded enough to just learn everything. And at the same time, be willing to be understanding if it's something that you're not really used to. Right. You know, be willing to understand.
I go through that. Trust me.
Right. No, listen. I get it because you got to learn people's love languages. Then you got to learn their history. You got to know what triggers them, what causes them
why they act the way they act.
Yeah, like
why you it's a constant learning process.
I agree.
You know, and you have to find out if that person is worth all of that.
Yeah.
You know, because some people are not, they're just not worth it.
Because that's an investment.
You know? Exactly. So you need to really understand that this person is worth me taking the time to learn and be willing to deal with whatever comes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. I totally agree with you
when
on
the
that.
label start, the lies come in.
And you know what?
I said we're together, now I got to lie to you.
People,
I don't know why,
exactly.
people are.
And anyone who knows me, and y'all know now, I have worked so hard in this last year to be the most honest and transparent person that I can. The person y'all see here is the person that they see when I'm off camera, when I'm on social media, when we're at the mall, where it doesn't matter. You're going to get one person. I ain't lying in another relationship. Y'all already know I'm polyamorous. I go through come in the door. Listen, I do not believe in monogamy. You might believe in it. I support that, but that's not for me. I'm pansexual. This is what I like. Coming in the door, I'm not lying about nothing. And either you can accept me or you don't. And if you don't, I still love you. It just means me and you cannot be together. But don't try to get with me and then try to change me because you think, oh, everybody knows, I do the OnlyFans thing. So people be like, oh, I would love to go out with you. No, you wouldn't.
You just want to have sex.
Because what you want, you think that, we could hook up. I could possibly be your partner, and then you can change me.
Yeah.
You will lose. And y'all know, you cannot.
That's right.
I'm Michael Hurd. I am my daddy's son. I am the last person on earth that you can change. If God don't do it, it won't get done.
Yeah.
Y'all do realize that a lot of the problems with relationships is the fact that when God brings a person in your life, we, being of the flesh,
come on,
make it our situation. And he didn't bring that person in your life for y'all to be
exactly,
together.
Exactly.
Every person that comes into your life is not meant for you to be with.
I love it. That does not mean that we're supposed to.
Just because you are attracted to them. Just because they're sexy does not mean you need to screw them. Everybody ain't meant for you to screw.
Let me tell you, we will get in our emotions and we forget that some people are just an assignment.
That's right.
And whether when I say assignment, I'm talking about on a two-way street. They are to bring something into our lives, and we are to bring something into their lives. And a lot of time, we build houses where we should just pitch tents.
Yep.
Because it's temporary. It is not supposed to be forever. It's supposed to be for a certain amount of time. And then after that, it's over. And you know what I learned? Anytime you stay longer in anything, especially a relationship, longer than you should, God will allow a storm to come.
Of course, because your assignment is over.
And let me tell you something, and when you don't leave, and y'all all know we're Pentecostal, and if you don't leave when the storm starts, that storm will get worse and worse.
Because now you're going against nature. Now you're going against the law. Now you're going against it.
Exactly.
Against the grain.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Okay,
so
y'all, we got to wrap this up. Because I can talk about relationships. That's my topic.
Okay, so our last topic we are going to talk about, because we are living in the time we're living in. I notice as a counselor that a lot of people are dealing with anxiety. How are you all dealing with your anxiety? Are you experiencing any type of anxiety? Oh, you just chilling. Okay.
More wine, please. No, I'm good.
I'm not dealing with anxiety now because I've learned how to not deal with it. And when I feel it happening, when I feel the triggers, I know how to deal with it because I used to suffer from anxiety when I was younger for like 10 years.
Wow. And
it was a very, very hard time for me.
Yes.
Very, very hard time.
Right.
And I know that it stemmed from low self-esteem. It stemmed from not really knowing who I was, because I grew up in the church. Right. And everything I did, I thought it was wrong in the eyes of God. And I always condemned myself for it. I always came down on myself for it.
Right.
And then going in and out of bad relationships, being molested as a kid and not knowing, okay, if God loves me this much, why would this happen? Not knowing that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord, who are called to the purpose. Everything works together to make you stronger. Right. But at the time, I didn't know that.
Yes.
So all of this anxiety, came, and medication didn't help. No matter what medication I was on, all it did was just make me a zombie.
Like numb. Yeah.
It just made me a zombie. It made me out of touch with what was going on around me. And it was a very horrible time for me. And I'm really trying not to cry. It was a hard time for me, and the only thing that helped,
let him use you.
The only thing that helped was understanding that I have control of my own mind.
Right.
I am able to control my own thoughts, and anxiety is nothing but a bunch of lies built up in your head, telling you that you're gonna lose control, telling you that everything's not gonna be okay, telling you that you don't amount to. Once I realized that and learned how to really take control of my own mind and control what was going on around me, breathing and meditating.
Yeah.
You know, just taking the time to calm yourself, taking the time to understand that it is okay, and you can control the narrative. You can control what happens and what doesn't happen. You have that power.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I totally understand that. I think I have not always suffered. I've had my bouts with anxiety, right? So I might have a little bit of anxiety here and then won't have it for a little while. But as you all know, I was in a relationship with Mr. Ty Couture, who really did suffer really bad with anxiety, and to see his experience of what he went through on a daily basis. You know, anxiety about what people thought of him, anxiety about, you know, how this was going to happen or who was going to say this. Or I understand that battle because it's always that fear talking, right? And that's what anxiety does. Anxiety talks to you, tells you a bunch of things that could be true or not true, could happen, probably won't happen. And you just live in a state of this energy of almost like a depression where it's just like, well, what's the purpose of me trying when I know it's not going to work? What's the purpose of me, you know, working hard if I know I'm never going to reach my goal? What is the purpose of me giving my all in a relationship when I know I'm going to break up anyway? It's always that pessimistic view, that voice that's always telling you it's not. It's not. And one of the things that I believe works great for anxiety beyond medication, because I am not a psychiatrist yet, but so I can't prescribe medication yet, but one of the things I think works is therapy. I think getting into therapy, talking about your issues, you know, digging out those hard places of life that we've gone through, and we have all gone through them. We have relationship issues with our parents sometimes, and John, I still got issues that I'm working out with my parents, and, you know, or just tragedy. I was molested as well, you know, and to be honest, the molestation I went through still hasn't been dealt with in my family. To this day, it still hasn't. And just dealing with all of the tragedies of life, we have to learn how to talk about those things to, you know, get us out. So I just want everybody to know out there who's suffering with anxiety, you are not alone. People go through all the time, and we all have different ways to cope. When stress gets high, we see he drinks.
No, hold on. Because I'm not stressed. This is just wine. This is only pretty much one glass.
Well, I was honestly playing about that, but I will tell you this, and I'm serious about that. About this, when things get too stressful for me, I smoke or eat an edible down. Period. How do you deal with your anxiety or stress?
I meditate and I drink.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm still in therapy too, so I don't want to make it sound like
I meditate and I drink. I don't abuse the alcohol, but I take the time to just relax
and just enjoy yourself
and calm myself. I put on music. I put on you know, things that will relax me.
Yes.
I have a glass of wine.
What else relaxes you?
A wet tongue.
But hey, always.
Oh,
always.
I don't.
And for those who didn't understand what he said a wet tongue.
I was talking about for them. I like a dry tongue, but
you want to do a dry.
Shut up.
What do you do to relax?
Well, now since I've gotten older and more in tune, I do drink wine because I was not a drinker at all.
Mm-hmm.
I do sometimes partake of the medicinals.
Yes,
and,
yes.
When I say sometimes, I mean every day.
Yeah.
But I literally, honestly do that to just unwind.
Yes.
It's not because I'm stressed. It's because my mind is constantly going.
Right.
Because I'm a thinker.
Yes.
So in order for me to not think,
yes,
I'll have a glass of wine, maybe smoke a half.
And then not only that, but you're booked and busy.
Yes.
So you have a lot of projects
and
going on.
Kids and a husband.
Right.
A dog.
Yes.
Parents that need, oh, Jesus. Restaurant. It's a whole lot.
Right.
Oh my God. So,
but you're balancing it very well.
Because I honestly don't get stressed. I suffered from a peptic ulcer in the 12th grade from stressing myself. And after coming through that, I said, that's why I'm so easy breezy. Like, don't worry about that.
Right.
And nothing finna stress me, and nothing finna make me mad.
Right.
If you don't like me, then you don't like me. That's
Your
on
fault.
you.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with me. Again, just be respectful.
Exactly.
We can be cordial. We can walk past each other. I'm good with that. I ain't looking for friends. I'm too old for new friends. I'm good with that.
Right.
So I don't let anything bother me. I just take it with a grain of salt and keep on going.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, listen, we hope that you have enjoyed this conversation today. We talked about some amazing things, and that's what I love about when we come together. We have but the conversation is good, though. And it definitely needs to be had. We want to make sure that we all remind you that we do something here at Kingz and Konversation, something called Lunch on Us. All right. So all you have to do is go to our Instagram page. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram, and then make sure that you put your Cash App underneath the the post that says Lunch on Us. If you do that, we will definitely pick a name or live on the show starting next week, because we're week 5. Yeah, so starting next week, and we will get an opportunity to treat you to lunch. We just want to show everybody how much we appreciate you. You might be lucky enough to have lunch with us. Exactly. Not just on us, but with us. If you're in Atlanta, we might pull up. Exactly. And we would love to do something like that. Yeah, make sure that you follow us all on social media, because all of y'all social media is jumping. Are you getting on Twitter?
Next week.
Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all follow me on Twitter, my Twitter is lit, so make sure you are.
Mine is not lit. It's purely for my acting purposes, for being an actor. But
mine is lit.
Yeah, he is lit. No, yours is lit. You lit.
Are you getting on Twitter, though? You said you're not?
I'm going to get on there next week.
Let the Lord use you. You should, because first of all, Mocha, you're an author, and people need to be able to know about your books and stuff, which we need to discuss your book on one of the shows.
Yeah, we really freaky.
Oh, then we definitely need to discuss that shit.
Man, that's what's saying.
Wait a minute, so your book, see, I have not read them yet.
Yeah, my books are dirty.
They're very dirty.
Dirty erotica, yeah.
Oh, shit. I almost said your book sales are about to go through the roof.
No, the funny thing is, me being on the cover, people would hit me up saying, so it's just about you.
I on a cover.
I'm like, no, I'm just the model for the cover. Like, oh my God.
They think the stories are about him. But,
wow. Okay, that's what's up. I'm actually on my way to Vegas and Palm Springs this weekend.
What's going on in Vegas?
A little bit of work. A little bit of work.
Not like a lot of work.
A little bit of work. I got a little bit of work to do.
Okay.
Well, listen, we have to continue to set the platform so that we can continue to move forward. What are y'all doing this weekend?
I will actually be going to Memphis for Father's Day.
Okay.
Even though my father's in Atlanta.
Right.
I don't know anything how that works. But I'm going there to do a show.
Okay.
In Memphis. So I'll be there.
That is awesome. Yeah. Well, and happy Father's Day to
so both of us.
Yes, all of the fathers. Please wait. Please wait.
No, don't wait.
Please wait. No. Make sure that you like, share, and comment on this video. You see that we are crazy. We have a great time, and we appreciate you taking the time to watch us on today. All right, everybody?
Share.
Please do. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.